Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a good day. We got Memorial Day sales rolling in pretty hot here. Usually it's like the second best week of the year as far as sourcing products to sell on Amazon goes. So really exciting, super exciting time for like sourcing products, that kind of thing. Basically, anytime some of these big holidays roll around, there's a bunch of sourcing opportunities to take advantage of. And usually we spend like, this year I'm hoping we spend like 30 grand in a week or so on profitable products, just buying from kind of those big website sales that are going on. And if you guys are watching really quickly, or if you're already live with us, make sure you're on the free class tonight. So at 7 p.m. we're going to be jumping in, showing you how to source products, get ungated, kind of the whole A to Z game plan. Really important with kind of Memorial Day coming up here. There'll be a ton of opportunity that you can grab if you know what to do. So if you guys are on TikTok, the free class is up in my bio. On YouTube, it'll be down below. And yeah, let me know what questions you guys got. I'm here for probably 30 minutes or so answering questions, and then I'll see you guys again at 7 p.m. Eastern. Sweet. So yeah, let me know what questions you guys got. We'll roll here for a little bit. What up, Mr. E? Nike stuff got you shook. Yeah, so that's why it's so important to have lots of different things you're selling, right? So more important than ever, just to make sure you actually know how to source, and you're not just like randomly sourcing one specific brand and that's like your entire business. Because if it is, you don't really have a business if it's all dependent on one brand, basically. But yeah, there's still plenty of good stuff to sell. And the nice part is no one has been able to sell that in a while as far as new sellers go. Lots of new sellers. Got a couple recent, like Carlos and Ryan, who were been on the YouTube channel recently. Neither of them had kind of the big fancy clothing brands, and they're still crushing it. So I'm not super worried. Just means more important than ever to actually know how to source and not just be super dependent on one brand, basically. But yeah, obviously, be a little bit of a readjustment for some of you guys that have only been selling, one specific brand and that kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Let me know what other questions you guys got. How do you know what bestsellers? So yeah, so Simone, I don't do a Amazon affiliate. I buy name brand stuff. So I've got an example item that's on the ground, of course. Let me grab that. But I just grab I buy like name brand stuff, right? So I physically buy this, and in this case, I got it from like a retail store. You can also get it from like big websites. Yeah, Caleb, you're asking OA or RA. Yeah, so I do mostly online arbitrage, but retail arbitrage is like the easiest way to learn, because it's the clearance stickers. It's just, are you willing to go scan stuff on the shelf and find stuff, basically. And online arbitrage is a little bit more of a learning curve, but it's a lot more scalable. So I like online arbitrage just because, like I said, you can actually scale it. And yeah, last year we did about 2.5 million, probably do right around there this year. Just selling anything that's profitable, basically. Yeah, anything that's profitable. Absolutely. Love the YouTube. Keep it up. Yeah, for sure. Yes, for sure, man. Let's see. Not too sure. Yeah, not too sure. I'm gonna keep making some money on it, but as always, you want to make sure you're selling lots of different brands on Amazon. Especially these days. Oh, my camera's coming unfocused. There we go. What's up, Edgar? What's up, Thrasher? How you guys doing? You're diverse. Good. Glad to hear that. Let's see. What are you ungated to sell if you just sign up? Yeah, so there's some auto ungated brands that you can sell right away. That's a great place to start. And then you can also look at the other people who are already selling that brand, and people who are selling a brand like Stafford, for example, or Athletic Works. Those are like easy auto ungated brands. And then anyone who's selling those brands are probably also going to have some other opportunities that are available right away. That's kind of like auto ungated sourcing. And then you can also, anything that lets you apply, just get like 10 units from the retailer that you want to buy it from. It's already profitable. And then you submit that. So like when I'm buying inventory, all I check is that I can at least apply to get ungated, and then I'll buy it if I can, because I know I can always get ungated with that 10 unit invoice, basically. Absolutely. Thoughts on OA in the future? Nike. Yeah, so Nike, new sellers haven't been able to sell Nike for like a year and a half. So I know a lot of people's like the sky is falling, that kind of thing. So yeah, just keep selling as many different popular brands and that kind of stuff as possible. Yeah. Yeah, there's no real obviously it'll probably hurt some people's business, but that's why you can't be all your eggs in one basket, basically, right? So figure out how to sell as many different brands as possible, and that'll be kind of the key to long-term success. Yeah. And yeah, for those of you guys that are like trying to figure out how to actually source those products, there's a ton of free ways to learn. The best way to learn is going to be the free class tonight. So on TikTok, that's up in my bio. We're going live in in about 2 hours. It'll be like a 2-ish hour long free Amazon class showing you how to find new product sourcing opportunities, source some stuff that do some sourcing methods that aren't on YouTube anywhere as well. So some really high level stuff. So if you guys want to kind of learn all the basics and understand how to actually do this, you'll have a solid game plan for like your first $10,000 in revenue, basically. And with Memorial Day sales coming up, this just goes for everyone. Make sure you're keeping really close track of like the best sales of the day that you're seeing. And then to find like good opportunities based on that, you just look at people who have already identified opportunities within that brand. So for example, if Nautica runs a really big sale, you just look at sellers who are already successfully sourcing that, and you're not having to like randomly click through products and that kind of thing. So let me know the questions you guys got here. Good vibes for sure. You sold 2.2. Yeah, I sold that much was competition. Yeah, so I shoot for about 10% net margin. So last year we sold a little over $2.5 million. So you can do the math, and that's after I have a little bit lower net than some sellers because I pay my team to do all the work for me, basically. Some sellers want to do all the work and they want to have higher profit margins. It's your business. I just like having extra time to do stuff like this and spend time not working. It's a crazy thought for a lot of entrepreneurs. And yeah, let's see, 800K a month on TikTok. Very, very impressive if true. Yeah. Very impressive if true. Where do you usually get your invoice from? Yeah, Caleb. So anywhere you buy it, as long as it's like a legitimate website, legitimate source, that kind of thing, you can just submit that as your invoice. So I bought from Walgreens, I bought from Kohl's, Vitacost, Ayer, Walmart, Target. If it's a website that you've heard of before, I've probably bought some profitable stuff there. And that's the big thing. Like a lot of people get, it's kind of a misconception that you have to find like secret websites and secret sources and that kind of stuff. The vast majority of the best products you're going to find are on really big websites, but they're just when the best sales roll around, basically. So you're using coupons, discounted gift cards, that kind of thing to create the margin and waiting for prices to be on sale, basically. So like with Memorial Day rolling up, it's usually like the second, maybe the third best week of the year for sales and that kind of thing. As far as like being able to buy inventory. So it'd be a really, really, really good time to kind of take things more seriously if you have not yet. Need an LLC to start with OA? You don't need to. I didn't have one. That's kind of a personal, you talk to your CPA. It's kind of a personal tax setup question. I did not. I was a broke college kid, but it might be different for you. Let's see. What's up, Ed? Yeah. So Ed, as far as software you need, so Keepa and SellerAmp, that's how you source products. There's some other tools that might like kind of supplement that, and you can add on later on. They're not really necessary. I've sourced like 95% of my inventory with just Keepa and SellerAmp. And then to like manage the business and create shipments and like kind of the whole backend, that's where you use Boxum. So just Keepa, SellerAmp, and Boxum is what you'll want as an Amazon seller, basically. Let's see. Memorial Day sale is about to be banging. Yeah, absolutely, Quinn. Absolutely. Let's see. Impossible to make money off of the app. Not sure what you're talking about, man, but if you're talking about Amazon, there's probably about 1 million to 2 million people that would say otherwise. But yeah, it's kind of whatever you believe is possible for yourself is where you're going to end up, right? Like if you say, oh, I can't find profitable products, you're probably not going to find them, right? If it's, oh, I'm going to learn how to get better at finding them today, then you're gonna get better, and eventually you'll start finding some great stuff, right? Like the way you kind of go about your business is usually how it ends up. Absolutely. How do you find some of your best products for selling? Yeah, so like the basics is figure out what other people are already having success with, and then figure out which of those products are on sale today. So there's some more like tactical that you can definitely get into on that. There's lots of free stuff on YouTube. And then we're also showing you like step-by-step tactically on the free class tonight. So if you want to see like how we actually source products, there'll be a lot of good stuff on there tonight for sure. Amazon is dying. E-commerce doesn't have a future. Interesting. All right. I'm going to take the opposite bet on that and follow up with me in 10 years. Yeah. I have my suspicion is that people will still want to buy things conveniently. Very bold take there. Let's see, how accurate is estimated sales on SellerAmp? Yeah, so it's pretty accurate. If you're newer to the game, then you'll want to kind of make a test order. So buy 10, 20, 30 units of that based on like the overall share. And then, depending on how much you sell, you're able to, place a much bigger restock, that kind of thing. Later on, you can use stuff like the Keep offers tab to kind of educate how much you buy if you've looked at that before. Yeah. Let's see. You're getting a lot of account does not qualify when trying to ungate. Yeah, so you can just look at other brands, Johnny. Yeah. How soon did you get a warehouse? So I actually don't have a warehouse, and I wouldn't want to run one either. If you like, when you really scale, you can do it through a prep center. So I ship basically everything to a prep center that's in Montana, sales tax free, that kind of thing. So I actually save money compared to shipping to, most of the states where I've been living as I've been an Amazon seller. And then I don't have to like physically manage or touch any of the products, that kind of thing. It's been close to like 2 years since I've actually seen any of the products that we've sold, which is it's pretty cool. It's a little bit more like, it's a lot of active work, of course, but it's a little bit more hands off as you scale in terms of like physically touching the products. Yeah. Do you do FBA or FBM? I do mostly FBA just for scale, but FBM is great to like test the concept and figure out what works for you in the beginning. Yeah. What strategy is best? Yeah, Edgar, just digging in on some reverse sourcing. If you don't know what that means or you haven't seen that before, then definitely hop on the free class. I'm going to show you some other ways to source products as well. Yeah. Let's see. You giving me some slack here? I'm just I'll reinvest it into whatever. Let's see. Yeah, if you bought from Target, then you just gotta submit that basically. Yeah. Doing 35K on TikTok, but can't grow anywhere. That's awesome, Andy. Yeah. There's a bunch of different ways to make money online these days. I love it. Just kind of stick with whatever you can see yourself enjoying doing. Yeah, I don't know much about selling on TikTok. I would personally, have a lot of info on like selling on Amazon, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's great as well, Andy. Is there some stuff that does better FBA or FBM? You just started on FBM. Yeah. So you want to FBM when you can, but like when you look at the product, Seller Amp will show you if you can FBM it or FBA. And if you can't, like if all the sellers are going to FBA, then you're probably not going to have much success like getting buy box rotation. You have to FBA it. But if you see other FBM sellers getting sales, then you'll definitely be able to crush it. Doing FBM, that kind of thing. I got you, Flag. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, Quinn. So I did the math in terms of like the Nike stuff that we still sell. It was a pretty small percentage. It's about $9,000 worth of stuff. We have 2 months to sell out. There's still lots of stuff available in the brand. And the big thing, I've been saying it for a year, is just sell as many different brands as possible, right? You never know when that next brand is going to be your amazing, super high profit, super high profit brand that a lot of people aren't thinking about when they start selling on Amazon, right? Like everyone gets on Amazon because they want to sell like, Legos and the shiny objects and that kind of thing, right? But there's plenty of money to be made in like random like plumbing parts and like all kinds of random stuff. You'll sell everything under the sun if you're doing Amazon correctly. So yeah, just same thing I've been doing for a year. It doesn't really change what we're doing. Just sourcing as many different brands as possible, basically. Yeah. What class? Yeah, so we're doing a free class tonight, Key, if you want to learn everything. Yeah, so we'll show you how to source products, get ungated, kind of all the basics, and some kind of more advanced sourcing methods for those of you guys that are already actively selling on Amazon. So on TikTok, that's up in my bio. Yeah. Get some liquidation. Yeah. Make some profit wherever it is. 7 p.m. Eastern, Caleb. Yeah. Class 7 p.m. Eastern. Do you use VAs too? Yeah. So I have a team of virtual assistants that source the product. They buy the product. They take care of all the like back end management of like communicating with the prep center, that kind of thing. Yeah, you want to have like a real long-term business, and that's a great way to do it. Yeah, you can definitely hire like virtual assistants and that kind of thing. How do you join the class? Yeah, so on TikTok, the link is up in my bio. You can just register. It's on a separate software where we'll screen share and like source products with you guys, all that kind of stuff, drop questions. Yeah, it's usually a super high energy, really good time. And it's with my friend Miles, who's also sold over $5 million on Amazon. Is there a way to get rid of your account level reserve? So yeah, Amazon's not keeping that money as far as account level reserve. You get paid every 2 weeks for the sales that happened 2 to 4 weeks ago, right? The most recent 2 weeks, Amazon holds that money in case of returns or anything like that, and then they'll release it after 2 weeks. So you'll always have account level reserve, just in case you have like a bunch of returns that come in or something like that. But yeah, you'll definitely get paid out. See, what's up, Marcus? Remember when I was doing 120K a year? Damn, you've been around for a while then, Marcus. Yeah, that was probably 2022, something like that. Yeah, 2021 maybe. Yeah, that's what's up, Marcus. So you probably saw like the mattress behind me for a while when I was super early on. Let's see. Do you do business funding? So no, not personally. I'm not personally going to fund anyone because there's a lot of like sketchy stuff that could go on in there. Plus, if you're a brand new seller, you do not leverage debt or anything like that or all that kind of stuff, right? You want to get really as good as possible with your own money. And then after you're at the point in your business where it's like, all right, I know exactly how I would use a loan or a 0% credit card or something like that, then you can start to think about leveraging debt. But I don't think it's really a smart idea, especially early on. Yeah. So just start selling with whatever you had. Like I had like $1,500 when I started, and just grew the money from there basically. Let's see, retiring soon. Congrats on that. Yeah, you want to start selling that? Yeah, it's a good little side income for sure. Free resource that you can learn from. Yeah, so lots of free guides on YouTube, and then we're also doing a free class in about an hour and 45 minutes as well. So you can check that out up in my bio on TikTok. Let's see. Asked about switching account. You said turn 18, set any tax settings. Yeah, Dennis, it's just on your Amazon account. It's just in the tax settings question basically. Or tax settings like questionnaire on Seller Central. You can change whatever. Yeah, the class is free tonight, Key. Yeah, it's just up in my bio. Yeah, so it's completely free. Appreciate you, Michael. Yeah, appreciate you. Do you have to pay more for the virtual assistant? Yeah, so a virtual assistant is just like a person, right? It's just an employee. It's just called a virtual assistant because usually they are remote workers from like overseas, that kind of thing. So I'm not exactly sure where the term even came from, but yeah, if you're gonna hire people, you do have to pay them. Yeah. Yeah, we've gotta pay people these days. For sure. Yeah. So yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here. FBA or FBM, which is better? Yeah, for me, I like to do a lot of FBA because it's just a little bit more scalable. FBM is better in the early days because you're able to like test items faster, basically. So do both, basically. Do both. Yeah. Currently saving up to begin. Yeah, that's what's up, Rolando. Yeah, keep it rolling there. Let's see. Gonna start a store from scratch. Yeah, I like it. If you've been making some money as a VA or something like that, I like it. Yeah, biggest thing is just for any of you guys that are getting started actively, just consistency is the biggest thing, right? There's two things that grow your business. It's how do I find products and how much time can I spend on finding products, right? And then there's how much time can I spend talking to other Amazon sellers and sharing ideas, basically. So networking and finding products are basically the only two things that are going to grow your business early on. Don't worry about like complicated systems and spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. Just figure out how to save as much time as possible so that you can spend as much time as possible sourcing, right? Yeah. How do you find trending products? So I don't necessarily sell like trendy stuff. I just sell stuff that's profitable. Sometimes I'll sell some trendy stuff where you'll see it on TikTok or something like that. I've definitely seen some products that got like randomly popular on TikTok, and I went and bought a bunch of them there. But yeah, the biggest thing is just what are people having success selling? Is it cheaper today than normal? So can I use a coupon or discounted gift card or big cash back deal, that kind of thing? And then after that, can it be profitable? And ideally, it's like a little bit hard for that profit to be obvious. So the big thing is you make profitable products. You don't find profitable products. Yeah. Do you need software to get the right product? Yeah. So Keepa and Sellerant for sourcing products, that's like $40 a month combined. And then Boxum for shipping, tracking profit, analytics, when to restock products, that kind of thing. Absolutely. What time are the calls? So usually like 6 or 7 Eastern. Yeah. There's for life as well. So we've been doing calls for I want at least 2, maybe 3 years, something like that. It's been a couple years. And yeah, those are every week for the group basically. Let's see. I don't know if I saw. Yeah, if you dropped a question above, I didn't see it there. Funny. Yeah. When will you know if you should FBA or FBM a product? Yeah. So I FBA most things just because it's more scalable. But like when you're shipping stuff to your house, there's a lot more flexibility. And in that case, if there's buy box rotation showing for FBM sellers, so if you go on the listing and it says like sold by XYZ seller and it also says ships by XYZ seller, then yeah, definitely go and try to FBM that product because you should be able to make sales like as soon as you list it, basically, instead of waiting for it to check in at Amazon. Number that says 100 sold, accurate by Amazon. I haven't tested it too much. I usually just look at SellerAmp for sales estimates and that kind of thing, but it can't hurt as like a secondary opinion, basically. Let's see, opinion. I actually don't really have a too good of an idea. LOL. Yeah. I don't really track revenue too much. The biggest thing is just tracking profit, right? That's what actually matters. I can let me pull it up on Boxing over here. At least $700,000. Yeah. So far this year we've done about $700,000 in sales. I just pulled it up on Boxing over here. Yeah. So not too bad. I'll definitely take it. It's not going to be our biggest year. Focused on doing some helping you guys with content, building some software. Spending less time working is the goal as well. Biggest revenue year was actually last year was my biggest revenue year so far. Not by a ton, but it was just shy of $2.6 million. Voice isn't clear. Yeah. Not too sure. For you guys on TikTok, if you want like the good audio quality or something, I'll make sure it's fixed next time. But I'm also live on YouTube. That's like where the fancy mic's going. Yeah. Absolutely. How do you find products, or what supplier do you go through? So I buy everything from big websites or from local retail stores. So stuff like this. Audio issues. Let me see. Sweet. You guys on TikTok, let me know if that helped on on TikTok. Turned off the Bluetooth. You guys might have been going through my headphones or something like that. I'm sure we've all done that, like calling mom, that kind of thing. Better? All right, sweet. Better now? Sweet. Yeah, it was definitely I picked up like my headphone down here and it must have like connected to it. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I missed anything here. Any help sourcing Office Depot? Yeah, so very rarely go to like a specific website to source products, if that makes sense. Typically, I'm going to like an opportunity, and then wherever I end up sourcing it is the goal. So, for example, I'm going to look at if I want to source like Gap branded clothing, I'll go to people who are already successfully sourcing it, or I'll use like some Keep a Product Finder to show me a list of stuff that would be good to sell. And then I'll search for those products and see all the different places I could buy it, basically. That way I'm seeing like the lowest possible prices. So yeah, you're asking like sourcing specifically Office Depot, that kind of thing. Find a good product and then figure out who has it cheap today, basically. Yeah. Voice is good now. Perfect. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. How do you find products? Yeah. So most of my suppliers, Tony, are just big websites. Finding them is I usually do something called reverse sourcing. It's like the basic way to source, or some Keep a Product Finder searches as well. And we'll break it down, both of those, on the free class tonight. That's up in the bio or down below if you guys want to kind of see how to really find a bunch of products step by step. Yeah. Let's see. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, good vibes for sure. Might have something in the works. It could be working on signing the first one right now, actually. Let's see. Do you have wholesalers that I don't personally do any wholesale on like protein powders and stuff. I've definitely bought a lot of it online arbitrage though. Yeah. Yeah, I would if you're asking this type of question, you're gonna have a lot more success doing a little bit of online arbitrage just to kind of learn the basics, learn the ropes, not lose a bunch of money. And then if you want to do wholesale later on, you definitely should. It's a good way to add some cash flow on top of an online arbitrage business. But yeah, I would just focus on buying some stuff from websites first. A little bit simpler. You show students what products will help make a good profit. So yeah, so I mean, like, you can learn for free, right? Like that kind of thing. Here's like an example if you want to see an example if you're like brand new, right? This is just something I bought at like a retail store. It's just like a toy, right? It was on clearance for $2. Scanned the barcode with seller amp basically. It said that this product's selling for $25 on Amazon, so I bought it. And now I just use it as an example, but that's like the type of stuff, right? The majority of the stuff that I buy at scale is stuff like clothing, vitamins, grocery products, supplements, that kind of thing. So that I can buy like 50 of it, 100 of it when it goes on sale on a website, and then put it on Amazon. And then, yeah, if like usually like that sale will go away, and then Amazon will be the best place to buy it, basically. Yeah, over time, do you get quicker with sourcing? Yeah, absolutely, Mikey. I know it. Like it took me like probably 2 or 3 days to find my first profitable item. Now there was basically no like free education and that kind of stuff back in the day. Like people were trying to charge. I remember people tried to charge me like $2,000, like DMing me like $2,000. I'll show you how to get ungated in like this like name brand, right? So definitely different. I don't think it should take 2 or 3 days anymore, but it's totally fine if it does. Over time, you get way faster. And the skill set you build, the more you source products, the more you understand how to skip past the bad items. Good items are going to be pretty obvious at like any level of being an Amazon seller, right? Oh, it's profitable, it's stable, brand looks good, perfect. Where you get better at sourcing is understanding like, I'm probably not going to be able to buy this item for a reasonable price where it's going to be profitable. Looking at the keep a chart, being able to quickly disqualify or say it looks good, that kind of thing. In the future, I like it. Yeah. Doing reselling is a great way to funnel cash into something that is like a long-term way to build wealth, basically. Yeah. You don't want to be reselling stuff for 25 years, right? It's a cash flow builder so that you can actually create generational wealth. Yeah. For sure. Oh, interesting, Brooke. I mean, I think he made the right call for where he was at. And they have helped a lot of people and probably will continue to help a lot of people. So, yeah, I know them personally. They seem like good guys. Let's see. Found an auto-ungated product sells fast with only 3. That's what's up, Caleb. Yeah, you found an auto-ungate first day sourcing. That's what's up. Yeah, said recommend watching some YouTube videos. Help a lot. You just started yesterday. Dang, that's what's up, Caleb. Yeah, I love seeing that. You're gonna be able to get off to a good start there for sure. Yeah, love to see that, man. Do you sell private label as well? Not right now. I've looked into it in the past, but yeah, mostly just focused on building great software for you guys, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. Do you know? So any site will work for ungating as long as it's legit. Yeah. Let's see. Question above. Let's see. Starting with $5,500. How would you allocate funds? Yeah, don't do private label as a brand new Amazon seller. Like even if you had like $200,000, I still wouldn't recommend private label because it's a lot to learn all at once. So $5,500 is not even like a ton of money in the Amazon space either. So you definitely want to start with some online arbitrage. Get Keepa, SellerAmp, and Boxem for sourcing. Age 10 is only for private label. And then you'll be able to really start generating some cash flow and that kind of thing. And then if you do want to do private label, you'll have a very consistent cash flow kind of baseline from doing online arbitrage reselling that you can then funnel into a private label. And when it probably doesn't work on the first try, doesn't matter. You got another $5,000 that you're reselling business. You can funnel into a private label if that's how you want to do it. But yeah, usually it costs like 5 or 10 grand from seeing a lot of my friends get into private label to actually have a decent start, basically. So if you've only got that, then you got one shot, and if it doesn't work, then you're back to square one, basically. So it's just a little bit risky for where you're at. That's what I'd say. What do you do with returned items? So the majority of them get sent back to Amazon and resold. Like the vast majority, anything that's like a little bit damaged or beat up, gets sold on eBay. And then if it's like super beat up or went a little expired, that kind of thing, whatever it is, you can donate it or see if family members want it, that kind of thing. Yeah. Usually I'm rolling up at like the holidays with random boxes of old returns and clothes and and vitamins and all kinds of random stuff. at the holidays, and it's like a grab bag for the family. And that's after we sell and get as much money out of everything as possible. So it sounds like I hate my family when I say that. They're getting all like the the scraps, but you gotta get as much money out of it as you can. Main difference between FBA and dropshipping. The main difference between FBA and dropshipping is that one doesn't get you banned because dropshipping is not allowed. Yeah. So don't dropship if you want to have an Amazon account for a while. Sweet. So I'm gonna hop off the live here. I'll hit a little workout or something before the free class, and then I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern for the free class. It'll be on a separate software, so make sure you guys get the invite. I just dropped it in the chat on YouTube, on TikTok. It's up here in my bio. It'll be about 2 hours long. We'll show you how to source products, everything you need to know to make that first, $5,000 or $10,000 on Amazon. And I'm super excited to see a bunch of you guys there. So see you guys in a little bit here, and you guys have take a little meal.